Good morning, my journal. It is 9:10 a.m. on Thursday, November 16th of 2023. Whew. I'm really out of breath for some reason. Honestly, no reason in particular really that I can think of. Yeah. I've been slacking on the journals the past couple days. The last one was 4 days and 21 hours ago. Thank you, YouTube statistics, for being very clear. Yeah, little update. What was 4 days ago? Dr. K and Forgotten Points. I was supposed to rewatch the end of that and go over the point the day after. So I was like, hey, I'm sorry, I will revisit this point tomorrow, and then tomorrow never came, and now it's like 5 days later. Oopsie. It's been going pretty well though. For once, I'm doing this before I shower, and I still have like a little bit of hair product in my hair from yesterday, so it's getting all wacky. But yeah, it's going pretty well. I'm in the middle of eating my breakfast. I don't know why I started this like while eating my breakfast instead of before, or instead of after. But today we got a cup of Greek yogurt, a quarter cup of oats, and 1 cut up banana. And I decided last night, while just kind of sitting there and trying to eat ravioli, emphasis on trying, because I was really struggling with eating the ravioli because I've been eating so much recently, like around 3,500 calories, between that and 4,000 calories a day, because I'm trying to put on weight and trying to put on muscle, right? I'm trying to bulk up, and my appetite's just gone. I just don't have an appetite. So over the next 2 weeks, I have decided to go on a mini cut or an aggressive cut, whichever name you prefer. I like mini cut because it sounds less angry. But over the next 2 to 3 weeks, I haven't decided how long I want it to be yet. I think I'm gonna end it on December 1st, so a little over 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks. So, yeah. And in that time frame, I'm basically halving the amount of calories I intake. So from about 3,500 to 4,000 to about, I want to say 1,800 to 2,000 at max a day. Which is still doable, I think, because there are days when I'm like, I think 2 days ago or something like that was I was at about 1,900 calories for the day, and I was laying in bed at like 8 p.m. or somewhere between 8 and 10 p.m. and I was just like so tired. I'm like, I want to go to sleep right now, but I need to get my calories. I need to get the rest of my calories in. And I did end up getting the rest of my calories in, but at what cost? My sleep. So today is journal 19. I was in the middle of turning on my computer at the start of the journal so that I could see what number I'm on, because I'm sick of trying to guess the number. I will now use facts and logic. And by that I mean referencing my last journal. But yeah, so last night, that was me at like 11 p.m. just sitting here in this chair with a bowl of ravioli, like contemplating my whole existence because I was so full, and I was like, I can't eat another bite, but I need to eat another bite. It was actually kind of funny. Like, if I was watching myself from like a bird's eye view, I'd be like, this guy is like clinically insane. What is he doing? But yeah, so what happened since the last day? I think Was Journal 18 Monday or... Oh no, it was Saturday. Okay. So, I'll go over each day since then. Saturday. Can't remember what I did. Chill day. I don't think I really did anything that day. I think that was the day that I decided that I wasn't going to go anywhere or do anything. And I'm pretty sure I did just that. Sunday. We're speedrunning this. Sunday. What did I do on Sunday? No more speedrunning. I need to remember what I did on Sunday. Because I know I had cheer practice. But what did I do? I'm pretty sure I did something before that as well. I don't remember Sunday at all. Given it's been like half a week, so I think it's normal that I don't remember exactly what I did that day. No, I think that was just another chill day. I think I did, what I'm thinking of was I did go to campus to study on Sunday, rather than just staying in my room all day. I think that's what I'm thinking of. Monday, back to classes, which was fun. I really like my classes still. I got done one of the assignments I had to do, which was nice. I think I did pretty well on it, but I won't get credit for a little bit. I had my research assistantship, which was fun, as usual, because I love linguistics, man. It's so cool. And then, oh, excuse me, burpee. Blech. Tuesday, I had drama, which, as I brought up in one of my past journals, or multiple, I can't remember, I was supposed to memorize some lines for the play, or for a play, called The Waxia, something feast dish. I can't remember the word for before feast. The powerful feast dish? Can't remember. I could just grab it from my backpack. And I will actually do that because the zipper's open already. Is it powerful feast dish? Great feast dish? It's some sort of adverb. Actually, where did the cover go? Oh, the hungry feast dish. Not adverb. Adjective. I think. Hungry feast dish. I still struggle with things like that. Basic things like that I still struggle with. Feast. Feast dish. Feast is a noun, but in this case, it is... I'm pretty sure the play was like translated from a Western indigenous language, so it could be like a translation thing. But in this case, like a feast is, I guess you can feast on something, but then that's a verb, and in this case it's like a adjective. Linguistics is sick. Linguistics is cool. Insert me putting on sunglasses like, linguistics is cool, kids. Where's my watch beeping at me? I like disconnected it, and so it shouldn't even be connected to my phone. Oh wait, I reset it because I was having connection issues. Anyways, complete tangent, what the heck. The whole point of that was, despite the fact that I didn't memorize any lines, nobody else did. Not a single person in that class memorized lines. So it was fine. I was fine. And the drama professor knew. Like, we were sitting in our little circle, and he was like, "So you've all been memorizing the play since the last time I saw you, right?" Like, with a tone of voice that was obvious. He knew that we didn't. But he also wasn't very like strict about it in the first place. He wasn't like, "Okay, go home over the break and memorize this." He's like, memorize what you can. It was very loose instructions. Typical of a drama teacher, which I love. Or I guess professor, not teacher. But I love those kinds of professors that are like, They give you loose guidelines, but they can be strict when they need to be. I love professors like that. Absolutely fantastic. They make learning so much more fun. But yeah, I have drama again this morning, which I'm excited for. And I have linguistics after that, which I'm also excited for. I really like my classes. And in my drama class on Tuesday, when we were like rehearsing lines or like just going over the play, we took a little break after reading through a couple pages and like putting together some of the actual movements and acting that we're doing. And I have my window open for once, so the lighting's probably a little better. And we were just kind of talking, a few of us, and then we ended up doing some like, I don't know how it came up, but one person was like, I want to do some gymnastics, I want to do a cartwheel, and they did a cartwheel. Then I did a cartwheel, and then they were like, I want to do a handspring or round off, but I can't do a round off. So I was like, I'll do a round off, and then I did a round off, and then I was like, and then they did a round off, and I was like, well, you got to do a round off, and you got to like use it to generate power because it's used for like tumbling lines and stuff like that. So you do it, and then you have to like do a little set afterwards. Well, you don't have to, but like it helps, and it makes the the round off look a little better too. And then eventually it came up that like I was in cheer and I could do a back tuck, and then I was like, pretty much every class in this class, because it's such a big wide open space, I'm always tempted to do a backflip in here, but it's like wood floor, and there's no shoes because it's like a dance studio, so it's like socks and like a wood floor, so it's like a little bit sketchy. But then one person in the group was just like, do it. I'm like, okay. So I went off to the side and did one, and then a couple people like heard it and looked over and they were like, wait, I didn't see you do another one. And then I did another one. They recorded the first one and posted it to our drama group chat, which was funny. They posted it last night. So that was funny. They were ugly back tucks, and honestly I'm glad that they recorded it, because like I can look at because I never record myself doing things, because I'm always just like in the moment, which is like a good thing, that I'm like in the moment and I don't think to grab my phone and record myself so that I can like work on improving it. But there are times when I should do that, because it's like if something isn't going well or I'm not doing something correctly, recording yourself and watching back footage is a great way to improve at something, because you can like look at it from an outside perspective, and be like, okay, so I'm doing this and this wrong and this wrong and this wrong. Oh, I could do this a little bit better. Oh, I'm doing this really well, I need to keep that. So it's really good to like record yourself doing things and watching it back in order to improve. And so I'm really glad they recorded it, because I watched it, I'm like, oh, I did that a little bit weird. I did that really well. Like in my back tuck in the video, I sat really well, which is like when you throw your hands up and go whoosh, to like generate upward momentum, and I did that really well. But at the same time, rather than waiting to do the tuck, I like threw my head back and threw it too soon. Not like super soon, mind you, but I don't know if I use that phrase right, mind you. I don't like that phrase, it sounds so pretentious. But like I could have held it and like gone up a little bit longer to get a little bit more height and make the back tuck look a little bit cleaner, which maybe I don't want to like try that on like a hard surface, but like I have an extra like stunt session group practice thingy with my stunt group tonight, so, and it's during open gym at the cheer gym, so I could probably work on that while we're there as well. And then I also have more partner stunting tonight. Oh, and I'm so excited because my coach gave me contact information for one of the guys on one of the other teams that our club hosts, and I messaged him yesterday, and then he got back to me, and now I'm actually gonna have another guy to finally like work on partner stunting with and like cheer with, which is exciting because I've never like I only started early last year, right? So I haven't like been into contact with a lot of guys who also do cheer. So I'm really excited to practice partner stunting tonight. Because I'm gonna have my flyer there, he's gonna have his flyer there, and we're gonna work on it, and we can like spot each other. And I'm excited for that because I'll actually be able to try harder skills and not have to worry about not having a spot, because I always have a spot anyways. But if it's like a shorter girl, I can't exactly do skills where I alone am holding a girl super high above my head, because it'll be harder for a girl who's like 5'6" to catch somebody who's like 10 feet in the air than another guy who's also like 6 foot or a little higher, or like barely under 6 foot, something like that. I don't know how tall this guy is. I've seen him once, and I think from like seeing him across the gym, or like halfway across the gym, I think he's probably about the same height as me. But obviously when you're looking at somebody from a distance, there's like perspective and things. That doesn't matter. I'm excited to partner stunt tonight. Oh, and I saw my mom commented on one of my journals yesterday or the day before. So, hi Mom, if you're watching this, I love you. What else? Oh, no. I'm gonna talk about my car, but honestly, it's doing fine. It's just weird. Sometimes it like struggles to start. Like, I don't know, it's weird. I like start it, and then it doesn't start the first time, and then I start it, and then it does start the second time. I don't know. That's a little bit worrying, but it's probably fine. It's probably just because it's cold out. Honestly, that's probably it. I had so many car troubles a couple weeks ago that now I'm like skeptical about absolutely everything with my car. I hate cars. Oh, I don't like them. I want to move to a city that's walkable, which honestly I'm not going to find anywhere in North America probably. So I want to like live in a different continent for a while, where there's like probably somewhere in Europe that's like possibly a very walkable or very bikeable city, which would be really nice. And then I can learn another language in Europe. I want to learn French, but I'm always so I want to like move to a French-speaking country in Europe to learn French. I don't want to learn it anytime soon, because like right now I'm focusing on Spanish and Japanese, and I don't want to add a third language just because I don't want to pile too much stuff up on myself, even though I already have been doing exactly that. But I get very dissuaded from learning French, because I always hear these horror stories about people learning French and trying to speak French with a native speech French speaker. But so, since most French speakers also speak English in Europe, well, I don't know about most, but I've heard the horror stories where it's like somebody tries to speak French, or like finds somebody who's willing to converse in French just to practice, and then they get frustrated. And French people intimidate me, man. I don't know, French people are intimidating. French people are scary. But yeah, I'll probably get over it eventually. I'll probably still learn French eventually, but like that's just like a small concern I have right now. And I'll get over it eventually. Like, I have a French person in my drama class, and he's super chill. And like I talked to him about like French culture and where he comes from. And like I even asked him once, I'm like, is it true that French people get like really angry with people who don't speak French? And is it like true that they're so mean? And he's like, well, kinda. One of his biggest culture shocks when he came, because he's a transfer student, so one of the biggest culture shocks he said he had when he came to Canada was, wow, everybody's like actually so nice and talk to each other. And and I was like, oh, so people are kind of mean. So French people are just a little bit more mean. Obviously not like generalizing, not like, oh, French people are so mean and so rude. But the way he worded it was like, yeah, I don't know. French people intimidate me. Anyways. What else? What else? Oh, my sleep last night was really freaking weird, man. Like I said, I was like sitting there at like 11:30 p.m. trying to eat my ravioli, and then I finished it, and then I laid down and fell asleep at like midnight. And I was like, and was like very. It was like a good sleep while it lasted, but then at like 5 in the morning, I had like a horrifying nightmare. It was like, usually when I have nightmares, it's like I wake up from them. It's like, I really like horror type things. So I was like, I usually wake up and I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool actually. And then like, I just go back to sleep. But last night, it was like, I had a dream where, or I guess a nightmare. I don't know if they're like nightmares I guess are dreams, but dreams aren't necessarily. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I just like, all of my dreams recently have been like very hyper realistic. It's just like a normal situation that could happen in normal day-to-day life. But and the nightmare was the same for the most part. I was just laying there in my bed, like in the nightmare. I was laying in my bed just like reading a book, and then all of a sudden I turned the page and I just got like teleported to the exact same location, but everything just was like darker and warped, and all of a sudden like in my head in the nightmare I'm just like, oh, that's weird, let me go see what's up. So I get up and I open the door, and there's just like there's like a baby there, but not like an actual baby. It's like a painting of a baby. I can't remember. My mom is an artist and she's really good at painting, and I don't know if it's this particular painting I'm thinking of is like a painting she did, or if it was just like a painting that we had when I was younger, but it was the painting of the baby, but it was like, rather than like the 2D like canvas, it was like the baby that was painted was just standing there at the door, and it was like warped and horrifying. And then I like shut the door, and I can't remember what happened for a couple of seconds, and then I like went up. I somehow got upstairs to talk to my mom. I'm like, hey, do you know what's going on here? And like, obviously dreams, even though my dreams have been hyper realistic, there's still like parts that I can't remember, and it's like I can't remember if I explained it to her properly or just like, I don't know. And then I just kind of like glanced at her phone that she was holding once again in the nightmare, and it was the picture of the baby again. And then it just like jumped out at me, and then I woke up, and I was like, I wasn't super scared, I wasn't like terrified or anything, but like I couldn't get back to sleep, which normally when I wake up from a nightmare, which for some reason I've been having a lot of nightmares recently, but like I said, normally they're fine because I find horror and scary things cool, and I enjoy them for the most part. But last night it was like I was slightly more afraid when I woke up. Or I guess that's not a good way to put it, because usually I'm not afraid at all when I wake up. But I was like a little bit afraid when I woke up this morning. And I just like could not get back to sleep for the life of me at like 5 a.m., 5:15 a.m. or something like that. So I got up, I can't even remember what I did. I got up and did something. Like I got up, used the washroom, and I think I like briefly went to the fridge or the cupboard, but then I was like, oh wait, I decided I'm starting that diet today, so I probably shouldn't eat anything. So I came back to my room, and I just kind of like laid there. After a bit of trying to get back to sleep, I was like, okay, I'll just watch some YouTube. And I watched a really good video, which I'll discuss again in a second. And yeah, I just couldn't get back to sleep. But then after a while, I did, at like, I think I fell asleep again at like 8 something. And then or like I basically made myself go to sleep because I was just like laying there watching YouTube, and I'm like, okay, I probably need a little bit more sleep than like 5 hours for the day. So I was like, okay, I'll take my ADHD meds because they're stimulants. I read in a forum at one time, in order to wake up a little bit easier in the morning, you can wake up an hour before you need to wake up, take your meds, go back to sleep, and then they should kick in and wake you up around the time that you need to wake up, which every once in a while I use that when I have to, or I use that advice when I have to, and it works really well. It doesn't wake me up in a super intrusive way. It's just like I slowly start to wake up, and then eventually I have enough energy to like get up and do stuff for the day, which is really convenient and nice. But I don't do it every day because I don't want to like rely on it. So where was I going with that? Oh yeah, so I was like, at like 7:30, I'm like, okay, I should probably get a little bit more sleep for the day. So I took my meds, took my ADHD meds, and then I went to bed. And then it woke me back up around like 8:40. So I got another like hour-ish of sleep. So I'm running on a solid total of like 6 hours of sleep, which isn't bad. I usually get 8 hours every night. Or I try to. I usually get around 8 to 10, which is really nice. And it's pretty, sorry, my friend just, I'm like looking at my Discord home screen while, I pretty much always look at my Discord home screen while I record these. And one of my friends just started listening to a banger song, This Is What Falling in Love Feels Like by JVKE. I don't know if it's supposed to be Jake or if it's like actually JVKE, but it's a really good song. I highly recommend it. I'm gonna message him. I don't want to message him. Just looking at my Discord home screen and saw listening. I absolutely love that song. Okay. I got super distracted there. But yeah, I usually get 8 to 10 hours of sleep. Not necessarily at super consistent times, but usually within like general time frames, like either fall asleep at around like usually like 10:30 p.m. to midnight is when I fall asleep pretty consistently. And same thing happened last night, which I fell asleep a little bit later. Like I probably fell asleep around like 12:30 or like 12:15 rather than okay, I keep getting distracted by Discord. Minimize. Rather than like when I say around 10:30 p.m. to like midnight, it's usually like within that. I usually don't fall asleep after 12 a.m. But yeah, last night it was a little bit later, and my sleep was just weird. My sleep was just so weird last night. But I should still be able to get through the day. I don't have a ton going on other than cheer and then like the little bit of studying I do after classes. But other than that, not a lot. Not too worried. Yeah, I'm getting excited for Christmas. I'm getting excited to go home and see my family and my dogs and my friends. And that's about a month away. So that's exciting. Oh, and the video that I was watching, when I decided to go to YouTube, and it's called Nowhere to Go, The Loss of Third Places by Elliot Sang. I really, really like it because this is something that, while I haven't like understood it in the past, or like when I was younger, when I was in like elementary school, middle school, high school, I always complained. I don't know if I complained like audibly complained to anybody about it, but I always thought like it really sucks that, and even like while being in university, there's just like so little places to hang out without having to spend a ton of money. And I've always had like a pretty conservative relationship with money, if that's how you want to put it. Not conservative in like the political way, but conservative in like the conservational type of way, conserving resources, that kind of thing. And so I don't really like spending money, but then again, there are times when it's like I just don't really have a great relationship with money, and I've been trying to, I have been getting it more on track, and I'm a little better with it now. Well, I'm significantly better with it now. Just like in all terms, I allow myself to spend it in order to have fun without being hard on myself, and I also don't like splurge without being mindful of what I'm spending money on. So yeah, I just have a better relationship with money. But there's never been places to hang out, or there has been, but not like places where you can go and hang out with friends and have stuff to do without having to spend a ton of money. And that's like the whole idea of what third place is. First place is home, second place is work, third place is whatever the third place that you spend the most amount of time. And he covers the fact that like in the past there were arcades and roller rinks and some other places where you could go and you could rent like rollerblades for cheap, or like you go to the arcade and it was like a quarter, right? So you could just spend like $5 to have like a 4-hour long night of hanging out with friends and just playing games and having fun. Whereas now it's like you're gonna spend a minimum of like $50 no matter what. And like it's really frustrating because there's just like less places to hang out and do things and meet people. That's a big thing, is like at these places they were places of common interest and people were going there to hang out anyways and just talk to friends. So it was obviously I never experienced it, but presumably it was easier to meet people and talk to people. And there's like a big loneliness epidemic going on. I don't know if that's what it's called or what you want to call it, but it's just like, and I myself have been going through this the past couple weeks too, which may be part of why I'm not really doing the journals. I'm not going to psychoanalyze myself or anything, but it's probably a part of it. I've just been kind of feeling not sad, not down. Like my mood is the same. I'm just as happy as I usually am on average. I just like kind of feel a little bit like empty or like a little bit lonely, and it's kind of a shitty feeling, but it doesn't like affect my mood at all. It doesn't make me any more sad. It's just like, it's just kind of there, you know? It doesn't bring me any lower, it doesn't bring me any higher. It's just kind of different. So I don't know what to think about that. And so I was in the comments of the video, there was somebody talking about like go to your local libraries. They're always trying to put on events and like do things to try to preserve these third spaces. And so I want to look into that, look into like local libraries, not like my school libraries, because obviously they're affiliated with the school and probably they don't really like have books for leisure. It's pretty much all like academic papers and stuff like that, or like textbooks. So I want to like look into my city's like public libraries and see what they're doing, and honestly maybe like volunteer and try to help plan some of these things, because being able to develop socially is really important, which I learned very recently. And so if I can help in any way, just like help younger people develop properly socially and like be able to talk to people, because that's something that I was never really good at, man. I was never really good at talking to people, and even now I'm still not great at talking to people and like holding normal conversations, but I've been slowly getting better at it. And so if I can participate in any way to like help people, and even not even necessarily younger people, just like even like adults and older people, like if I can help provide a space where people can just get together and hang out and just like play board games or just have fun or do anything like that, that would be really nice. I wanna help people, man. That's all. I want people to be happy, because when other people are unhappy, then I'm unhappy. Not necessarily. I'm usually still pretty happy. I kind of tend to have like an it is what it is type mindset for the most part, but I don't like when people are unhappy. You know what time is it? 9:46. Okay. I don't know why I'm worried. I don't have class for like 2 hours. Yeah, kinda sucky that these third places are gone, which I was also thinking, and I didn't completely finish the video, I got like 20 minutes in, and I don't know if he brings this topic up at all, but it seems like any typical like third place, or like current third places that don't cost money always end up being labeled as like where troubled youth hang out, which I don't know if he covers it, and I don't know if this is like correlated at all, but like skate parks, when I first got into skateboarding around like between 8th and 9th grade, when I went to the skate park, it was like I had fun and I enjoyed it, and honestly there weren't that many bad people around. Obviously, like it's a skate park, so it is kind of sketchy sometimes. Like every once in a while there would be like some weirdos that were like doing drugs or like, but like it was very few and far between, like once every couple months or so. But like skateboarders are generally seen as like outcasts and like rebels and people who don't want to adhere to society's standards, and people generally see them as like delinquents. And then a recent thing that happened, like very recently, within the last couple months, at the high school in my hometown, a lot of kids would just go and hang out like either in the front of the school or like in the parking lot, because there was nowhere else to go without paying money to like go bowling or anything like that. So, and then within the last couple months, the school put out a rule that you can't be there after hours, and if somebody's caught there after hours, the police will be called and they will be escorted off the property, which is really cruel and just awful. Like, obviously it's different if they're doing illegal activities on the property or damaging things, but as far as I'm concerned, or from what I saw, that wasn't really happening. They were just hanging out in their vehicles there, or even sometimes not even in their vehicles, just like hanging out in the parking lot. And the school was like, no, you can't do that because we don't want you to. So that just removed another free space for them to go to. And that's really annoying, because like, now where are they gonna go? What are they gonna do? They're gonna go sit in a field somewhere and look even more sketchy, honestly. Because at least like on school property, they're like they can be monitored, or they like, I don't know. I feel like rather than just like banning them from it, I feel like they should have tried to like incorporate it somehow and be like, okay, maybe don't do this when it's super late at night, or like, I don't know, just try to, because if the kids are enjoying hanging out in a certain spot, rather than kicking them out, try to utilize the space, because obviously if they're going there already, try to utilize it to like plan activities or do something, rather than just being like, no, you can't go. I don't know, it really frustrates me, especially like after watching the video of the by Elliot saying, yeah, I don't know, it's really annoying. So I need to fight the system. I'm gonna fight the system. I'm gonna be like, no, I will create these spaces where anybody can hang out. Young people, old people, middle people, everybody come hang out, play board games. I'll put on events, stuff like that. And I shared the video with my mom at like 5:30 in the morning, and she brought up that she's had a dream since she was like 20 years old of like running like an art cafe. And I think it's such a good idea, because I've definitely brought up in these journals how good my mom is at painting. I think I brought it up. And I think that's something that would really suit her, because it would be like a chill environment where she could just make coffee and sweets and sell them, and she could put on art classes and stuff like that. And I think that would be really, really cool for her. I really hope that something like that comes true, and I want to help her with that. So like once I start making money, or like, I don't know, hopefully I can get a decent enough paying job where I can like help put money away and help with something like that. Because I know my mom I really want her to do something like that, because one, it would help her do something she enjoys, and two, it would help create another space, or it would help create a third space where people could hang out and just like not spend a fortune. That would be cool. That'd be awesome. But I suppose this journal has gone on for quite a while. I still got a shower, and in the 40 minutes I've been recording this, I have not taken a single other bite of this, so the bananas might be getting soggy. I don't know if yogurt makes bananas soggy. It doesn't seem like it. The granola might be. The granola can be very less crunchy, but that's okay. Anyways, I'll leave it there. Thank you so much if you made it this far. Yeah. It seems like when I skip a couple days, I end up making up for it by recording an extra long journal. So I don't know if people enjoy the extra long journals or if they prefer the shorter ones. I don't know. Honestly, even if people prefer one or the other, these are never planned anyways. I kind of just talk for however long I feel like talking. So even if you prefer one over the other, I'm sorry. It's gonna probably keep going the way that it's going, and it's probably gonna stay. Sometimes it's gonna be longer, sometimes it's gonna be shorter, sometimes I'm gonna miss days, sometimes I'll upload every day for like a week. It's inconsistent, and that's what makes it fun, honestly, because it's not like something that I'm tying myself down to. It's just, if I feel like doing it, I do it, and I enjoy that. So yeah, once again, thank you if you made it this far. Be nice to people, be nice to everybody, have empathy, just be nice to people, just be nice to people. That's the biggest message I want to get across in these, honestly. Just be nice to people. I don't know why I get more angry about, like, with this little outro thingy. Every single time I record a journal, it's like every time at the end I get more angry. I'm like, be nice to people! Be more nice to people! Every time. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. Okay. Goodbye. Maybe see you tomorrow. Probably see you tomorrow. Maybe another time. Goodbye.